UFC 326 Holloway versus Oliveira 2, the rematch, years in the making. We're going to go ahead and look at the fights, pick our fights, see who wins. We're starting from the early prelims all the way to the top. So Luke Fernandez, Rodolfo Bellato. This is Luke Fernandez's first fight in the UFC. Bellato, he's been in the UFC for a couple years now. Now, Fernandez, 5 out of his 6 are KOs. So he is a threat on the feet, especially in the first round. And Bellato, I think we've seen that he is all right. He can hold his own. He's a big dude, but I think he's been able to get caught. And with Fernandez having such power and I mean, we saw it in the Dana White Contender Series. This is how he got here. He got a nasty KO. So I actually think he's going to be too much for Bellato in the first round. And then, yeah, we're going to see a first round KO for Fernandez. Zhang Yung Lee, Gaston Bolanos. So this one I saw as a pretty good matchup because they both show to be good on the feet. On the ground, Lee has a lot more abilities and can get submissions. Bolanos, I think he favors probably being on the feet. And even then, though, I think Lee has really good skills there. And I think that it won't even need to go to the submission game. I think Lee is going to actually catch Bolanos and KO him in the first round as well. Next up, Rafael, Tobias, and Diyar Nurgozhay. So Tobias, I think, is making his debut for sure. I think this one's a debut. Yeah. So he's making a debut. He's 22 years old. He's young. He's a strong dude. He throws with power, especially in the first or second round. But I noticed that he does have pretty good wrestling, and once he has top control, he's had some good TKO finishes with ground and pound. So Diyar Nurgozhay, he's been in the UFC for a year or so. He's had a couple fights. He's been submitted, and so on the feet, he's pretty decent. He's shown to be good. I just think Tobias, if it gets to the ground, will be able to get him out of there. And that's what I have happening in the first round as well. So I think a lot of first round finishes. I was going to say maybe this one here could be a decision. But no, this one will also be a finish. I think Tobias is a big dude and going to be out there to make a showing for himself. So Sumudaerji, Jesus Aguilar. So with this one, I actually think that, Aguilar is a good fighter. I've seen him since the Sphere, I think, is when he got that first round KO. Sumudaerji, though, although he's had his ups and downs, I think he's a skilled fighter. He's had moments where, his lack of skills on the ground and, putting himself in danger and like submission threat. I think if he's learned from that and then keeps it on the feet, his length, his size will favor him in this matchup, where Aguilar lacks that quite a bit. He's like 5'3". He's going to have a huge advantage, Sumudaerji, over him. So I think he's going to scrap out a good decision win. I'm going to go with a decision win for Sumudaerji. Cody Durden and Nyamjargal Tumendemberel. Damn. All right. So that's the only time I'm saying that name. We're going to go with the dude from Mongolia. I actually do think I'm going to pick him as well. I've seen him fight the last, since his debut. I'm pretty sure it's only been a couple fights he's had. But he's submitted his opponent. He won a decision, but he submits his opponents pretty often. He likes the Anaconda submission. And he's done that prior to the UFC, where I think with Cody Durden, he is a crafty vet. He's shown to be a good test for prospects. But I think Durden is at a point now where we've seen him slow down a little bit. I think that if you're good enough, you can get him out of there. But I think I'm gonna say it one more time. Nyamjargal, I'm gonna go with a second round submission over Cody Durden. So Ricky Turcios, Alberto Montes. So Turcios, kind of an odd one to pick. I've seen him since the Ultimate Fighter, and he's never been very. He was fun up until he got to the UFC. Since then, he's been odd with his performances, and I think he's just too safe. Where Alberto Montes has a good skill set. Is he undefeated? I don't know if he's undefeated. No, 11-1. But he's making his debut, and he's got a good submission game with good hands. I could see Ricky Turcios getting caught with some leg kicks because Montes likes to throw a lot of those, and in the second round getting submitted, Montes getting a submission over Turcios. It could be a decision win as well, but I'm gonna go with the second round submission for Montes. Donte Johnson and Cody Brundage. So, oh man, Cody Brundage. I don't know what's going on because he's back pretty quick. I think he just recently fought like a couple months ago, and like fought terribly. Like he just doesn't fix his issues where he backs up against the cage and just charges up a big punch and then misses it, and then he gets beat up on and either TKO'd or just beat up for the fight. Donte Johnson is an aggressive dude. He's a smaller, like shorter dude, but huge. And I think that with his aggression, he's gonna be able to get Brundage out of there. He already came in and he's coming in after finishing Dumas, which is not the greatest win, but still, I think that Brundage is likely to get caught in that first round again. Kind of how it usually happens. He's gonna be up against the fence and then TKO'd. Or even I could see Donte Johnson catching him with like an even uppercut, just one nasty uppercut, and there goes Brundage. So yeah, we'll go first round KO. Cody Garbrandt versus Xiao Long. So I have this fight being a pretty good one. I think people are underestimating Garbrandt a bit. He's not favored in this one. I think Long is the favorite. I think Garbrandt has lost his last two fights to Barcelos and Figgy, which are not the worst losses. Figgy was still decent and winning fights, like when he lost that, Cody. And he still showed out a bit. And then with Barcelos, same thing. He might have lost the fight pretty clear, but he did show a good first round. So I think Long is a good fighter too, aggressive. It's going to be a fun fight. I think Cody Garbrandt is going to edge it out, though, in a decision win. I think we're going to see that he's still good. He's not championship level, but he's definitely still got it. Gregory Rodrigues, Bruno Ferreira. So this is a rematch of a fight that happened 2 years ago. And this one's interesting because Rodrigues is a favorite. Being a favorite after being KO'd, like, pretty nasty is not very common because Brunno did knock him out pretty bad. Now, what happened is that it was Rodrigues kind of having his hands down he was very aggressive, and Ferreira caught him in a moment where, they were in an exchange with a hook. Ferreira is really good though, and he has the skills to do that again. And the only thing that concerns me is that Ferreira does have issues with weight. I've noticed, even though he's only missed like one weight. One of his fights in recent ones too, he's always looked to come in either a little chunky or a little fuller, and prior to like when he fought Rodrigues, he was in much better shape than he currently is. So as long as the weight isn't an issue, or maybe it was an injury before, I still favor Bruno Ferreira. I still think that it's not going to be a first round KO this time. Gregory has adjusted. He'll probably come in with adjustments, but I think Ferreira might go ahead and get him out of there in the second round. After Rodrigues maybe gasses out a bit, late round, second round, yeah. So we'll go Ferreira. Drew Dober, Michael Johnson. So this one's also fun. Now, the way I see this one is Drew Dober and Johnson, they're both good tests. They're like the gatekeepers, or just those fun, scrappy fighters that you just have around. But Johnson's coming in with like a win streak now, and Dober has been losing, and I think he's also got a win here. Let's just double check though, just to make sure. So Drew Dober won, his fight versus Propelek, and before that lost to Torres, but it was a pretty bad finish. Michael Johnson is winning right now. He's won 3 in a row, but that's what I'm saying. He's beaten Zell Huber, which is aging not that great, Zaitar and Flowers, which again not the greatest wins. So I actually think Drew Dober, I trust him still enough with his chin. It's not like, he's lost the chin. He still actually bounced back, because with Propelek, he still got caught a couple times. He still lacks the head movement and keeps his hand. He gets tagged still. But I think Johnson's speed will be good, but I think Dober catches him in that first round and KOs Johnson. Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. It's a good test for Raul Rosas Jr. because I think Rob Font is always pretty good on the feet, especially on the feet. But I think that Raul Rosas Jr. knows that, and he's going to come in with a smart game plan to just go to the wrestling exchange, try to get him out in the first round. But if not, I think I could totally see Rosas winning a decision, just crowding Rob Font. He's gotten good enough on the feet with Rosas to where he can hold his own. He's not great. I still favor Rob Font miles ahead over Rosas on the feet, but I think that when the aggressive Rosas gets close up to Font, I think Font having his shell up here all the time will be an easy entry for Rosas to go ahead and get those takedowns. And I don't see Font getting finished in the first. So from there, I just see probably Rosas Jr. getting a decision win. Now, Caio Borralho, Reiner De Ridder. This one's been kind of difficult for me to decide on. I've been a little back and forth over it. At first, I had Borralho, but then I also got to thinking on the Reiner De Ridder performance with Allen. Like, it could have been an injury. Now, what I also remember is that before the UFC, he also had an incident where he retired on the stool. Like, he quit as well. And so it's concerning, but to me it's more concerning when it's in a 5-round fight. This is a 3-round fight against Borralho, who I don't think starts slow. It's just he does lack the abilities that other fighters have, right? He doesn't present too much danger. He's smart. He's very smart. He actually is a nerd, and he knows what to expect. He even said it before, like in an interview recently, that he 100% knows Reiner De Ridder is going to go for the takedown, which of course makes sense. I mean, De Ridder's, that's his game plan. He's trying to get a submission, but Borralho might be able to avoid that. But I think that De Ridder will have the bigger moments in the first and possibly second round. That third round is going to be scary, because if it happens again, where Borralho can definitely survive until then, he may lose that third round. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was like a tie where that third round was like a 10-8 round for Borralho. I'm going to go with De Ridder winning it in a decision win, but we'll see. We'll see if it was just an injury. Maybe he smokes Borralho, because another fun thing about, or not fun thing, but interesting thing is that Borralho, he's been able to keep everything on the feet and never has been taken down, but that's because no one's really ever tested him. If you look at his fights, the only fights in which he was the opponent was wrestling against him was like Paul Craig, and Paul Craig is not the greatest wrestler. So this is an instance where I think De Ridder could also get the finish in the first round, but I'm going to go with De Ridder. Yeah, I'm going to go with the De Ridder decision. Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. The main event, the BMF belt on the line. Two legends. This is a rematch where that first fight didn't really mean anything because Oliveira got injured in that first round. And yeah, they were like, this was like 10 plus years ago anyway. So now it's 2026. These teenager kids beforehand have become men, legends. They've become legends. And so they're clashing it off. And this is going to be a good fight, man. There's no way it doesn't end in a finish for me, I think. This is like, I can bet the money on it being a finish. You've got, it's a 5-round fight. Two champions or former champions, they're proven, man. And this is going to be so fun because Oliveira is coming off a win with Garbrandt, which I think is a very, very good win. We're talking about a fighter, Garbrandt, who has already beaten Arman Tsarukyan. Controversial, but he still beat him. Like, Garbrandt is a gamer, man. He's a good fight and a good win for Oliveira, especially with how he did it. Now, it was a like Garbrandt came in on late notice and whatnot, but Oliveira showed levels on the wrestling. Like, he just overpowered him. And I think with Max Holloway, he is a former featherweight. Let's not forget that. Yes, so is Oliveira, but and Max Holloway has bulked up, but, he was more recently a featherweight than Oliveira, and he even fought for the title recently. Was it? I think it was, with Ilya. So it's like, he's still smaller than Oliveira, I would imagine, and Oliveira's size showed in that Garbrandt fight, and I think with Holloway, the thing is we've never seen him be taken down and held down. I just think that Oliveira is a different monster than all those other fighters he's went up against. So it's going to be an interesting first round, scary first round. You're going to be scared no matter what, because I know this is one where it's like you're going to be sad no matter who loses, right? And that's pretty universal, I think. I think the first round is going to get tricky. There's going to be a moment where Oliveira engages with wrestling. It gets scary for Holloway in the end with maybe even a submission threat of Oliveira's. Second round, you start back up on the feet. Good little exchanges back and forth, but before you know it, Oliveira is going for that takedown. Max Holloway, I think you've got to think about it too, the leg kicks that Oliveira can hit Holloway with in the first round to like slow him down, because that is one big thing Holloway has, is the footwork and ability to maneuver around the cage to avoid takedowns and, you know, get into his positions. But I think Oliveira, with his ultra aggressiveness in the first round, it's going to get tricky for both of them in the first. But then in the second, once things have settled down a little bit, Oliveira will find the takedown, hold him up against the cage, get his back, and we've got a finish, submission win for Oliveira. Second round. It's going to be scary. We'll find out. Second round, submission, Oliveira. It's going to be really fun. But that's my picks. Let me know who you think wins. Peace.